So, dear students, this is Dr. N. Venkatachalapathi, Institute of Aeronautical Engineering. I would like to discuss on scope of metal casting industry, especially for a mechanical engineering students. He or she should understand what are the main input. So, based on the manufacturing process, what is the industry in a metal casting? If you have a foundry industry experience, what will be your future job placements and how this will be get in India and abroad, whereas a lot of opportunities are available. In this today, let us discuss about the scope of metal casting industry as related to our manufacturing process. This manufacturing process comes under the second year mechanical engineering branch, and already I have discussed the topic of unit 1 metal casting. In that, just now I focus on the scope of metal casting in industries. What are the various foundry industries? What is the requirement for an engineer, and how you can able to improve your the foundry industry? And in this video, let us discuss in detail. Okay. Now let us see the metal casting industry, especially whenever the cast metal products found in 90% of manufactured goods and equipment. As you know that the metal casting process, even though any complex shapes or any complex engine components and tractor engine and what you call Ashok Leyland engine components and all, the best method is the metal casting process. In that process, it is a traditional process, even though it can found 90% of manufactured goods and equipment, especially from the critical components of aircraft and automobile. Let us see the aircraft and automobiles to home appliances. So whenever any complex shapes comes in the aircraft industry or automobile industry to home appliances, even the surgical equipment also, the one of the most widely used process is casting process. In the cast metal products are integral to our economy and our way of life. Especially, let us see in US market, in United States of America, the metal casting industry is the one of the world largest supplier of castings. Yes or no? That is why if you have 2 years of hands-on experience in metal casting process, obviously you should have a lot of opportunity in abroad, especially USA, Germany, so where they can have a lot of foundry equipments and industries. They can do variety components, especially automobile or aircraft industries also. So among this, the products valued at overall 18 billion 18 billion annually, and directly employing of 2,25,000 people, the requirement of the mechanical engineering in this industry. So in general, the metal casting companies are often at the heart of the economy in the communities where they reside. So the people they don't want to work in a foundry industries like sand making and sand preparation and pouring the molten metal in a hot conditions. People are doesn't like, but initially if you have a good experience on this industry, obviously you need to have good progress and good job security, and the economy also will be improved in this metal casting. Especially in abroad, lot of opportunities are there in the metal casting industry as an experience after BTech. Okay, and this especially you can see the 2,950 metal casting establishment located throughout US. Over 80% of a small business, that is called very small, that is called small scale industries. So where they have some small foundry which comprising of simple hand molding and some cases machine molding technique, and they can made the molten metal through different type of furnace, induction and electrical furnace. So there a lot of talent in that engineering people, and they can able to afford some designing of pattern design, and also some how we can able to preparation of the mold making process, and at the same time you can able to do the molten metal with the tons of the molten metal for the series of the mold cavities. All this comes under a variety of processes there. So the student able to have the basic concept of this metal castings, that is a pattern design and gating system, how the sprue runner in gate will process into the mold cavity, and also the short blasting technique, removing of riser runner extra parts easily. So that is also one important technique to have a good exposure in this metal casting industry. So that is why nowadays is a little bit automated also will be introduced, like sensors and other robo equipments for handling this molten metal in this industry also. Slowly the metal casting human to automated. So process majority of the industries having a some semi-automated already existed. Even fully automated also, in this case handling the molten metal, preparation of the mold cavity, and testing, all those things will be automated with the application of robo and automation, etc. So now let us see, the figure shows clearly how the molten metal preparation in the industry, because it is a red hotted condition where the temperature is more than 400 degrees centigrade. A man cannot able to handle that molten metal automatically by using a ladle. So by using a ladle, you can transfer the molten metal with this. You can able to pour the molten metal into the series of the mold cavity equipments. Okay, so this is what a brief idea about the how the metal casting industry will be in present and the future also. Majorly 90% of the manufactured goods and equipments from the critical components of aircraft and automobiles only, and some maybe in home appliances, and some medical surgical equipment also made up of this metal casting process. Now let us see this is another interesting technique, metal casting industry. So by seeing a pie diagram, they clearly understand that majority of the metal castings are integrated to virtually all US manufacturing activities. In the US, castings are used to produce 90% of manufactured durable goods and nearly the manufacturing machinery only. So especially the metal casting supports a payroll of more than $8 billions. Okay, $8 billion especially. So let us understand what are the various important process involved in the metal casting process. The percentage wise I can show here. So let us see the melting is obviously more than 55%, and heat treatment 6%, and what you call this post cast, and something is the core making, the making of the hollow portions. It is approximately this 8%, and mold making, that is mold cavity making, also 12%, and the other miscellaneous process and also 12%. Overall, it is 100% can be divided into majority of this melting only. So where you can have the molten metal, you can able to do the preparation of the mold cavity with the required design of the components, especially in the automobile or aeronautical components. Yes or no? So in this case, that is why the energy used in metal casting, how it can able to distinguish it with the beautiful the pie diagram. So this is also a source collected from the Department of Energy. That is what Office of the Industrial Technology. So in the US metal cutting in September 1999, and after that lot of changes has been done, and now so much automation also can be implemented in this molten metal preparation, and transferring the molten metal into the series of the mold making cavities, etc. Okay, so in this case the melting is the most widely used in this energy intensive process in a metal casting. If you do a proper melting technique, melting process, so definitely if you have an expert while pour the molten metal in a stipulated time after putting the designing of that gating system, and so that you can calculate the pouring time of the molten metal also with whatever the component, either it is simple component or complex component, and first you are supposed to calculate the pouring time, then only that supervisor required to pour the molten metal in a stipulated time. Maybe it is a 50 seconds or less than a minute. Exact that time you should able to maintain to pour the molten metal in order to avoid the rejections of this casting. Okay, so this is what one part about the in a metal casting industry, how it can vary the various processes such as melting, majority of the process in a melting, and the heat treatment. Heat treatment in the sense, after that you can relieve some internal stresses, and how you can improve the mechanical properties such as strength, hardness, impact strength, etc. And some relieving of internal stresses, you can improve the some mechanical, electrical, and magnetic properties also. And some cases for the post casting, obviously 7% to be used in industry, and some core making. So wherever there is a hollow portion is there, whenever there is a hollow portion, we can support the cores. So whenever when you wanted to support the core, you should use the some core prints. Core prints are mainly used to support the cores. Okay, and mold making approximately 12%, and other related process another 12%. Where totally it covers the 100%. So that is why majority, more than 50% is obviously the melting of which type of furnace, and what type of metals to be compositions to be added, and how much time it will take to prepare that molten metal in the variety of furnaces and all. So these things and all you should able to understand and analyze, then you can able to have complete idea how the energy used in a metal casting process. Now let us see this is another important target. The manufacturing target is one most important in a casting industry or foundry industry. So in this case, you can clearly understand that the first diagram shows that metal casting research consisting of. So this is what a roadmap of priorities which will emphasize. For example, you can see the first thing is manufacturing, materials, environment, products, and makes. There are the different type of percentage of utilization here. This manufacturing is 55%, material is obviously 29%. The environmental effect also which lead to avoid some defects of the casting also, and production, marketing, some finishing technique, and short blasting technique to be used to improve the final the sound castings approximately 4%. And parallel you can see the metal casting can be applied across the all the categories of metals, not only steels. Okay, so it is having some iron, aluminum, other related thing also. Okay, so these all especially this is what how how much percentage of steel can be the 11%, iron 7%, aluminum 5%. Especially even the aluminum is one of the most popular metals while used in die casting process. So why? Because the aluminum is a very lightweight of the metal, so that it's great for creating lightweight parts in automobiles also, or creating some very tiny shapes without sacrificing strength. The strength should be good at the same time light in weight. Even that aircraft and aeronautical applications, always it can fly means lightweight part should be there. That is obviously in a aircraft component, so majority will be use this casting process also. And also this aluminum parts, especially this can be withstand high operating temperatures. Why high operating temperature? And has the more finishing options will be done in this. So that's why you can see that non-ferrous metals like aluminum, etc. These things and also finishing will be good, and also strength also can be improved for better. Okay, and another thing is this is what how the metal casting where you can apply some of the sensors. So nowadays, due to technology transferring very fast in present generation, so that now even though not only students, even that academic institutions also try to focus on the computer related some technical that semi automation automated to be implemented for performing any type of metal casting process. So you can see in the figure, you can clearly understand that there are different type of sensors to be used in the processing of the castings. So where you can able to do which cannot do manually, you can able to use in sensors, etc. So here what I wanted to explain, enabling technologies. So that is what advanced technologies works works with industry only. So whenever the industry want very creative thing and advanced technology, such as the national laboratories, even some academic institutions like what you call the NITs, IITs in other leading universities like Institute of Aeronautical Engineering, especially where you can able to have good academic standards, and they are having a good professors where they can interact the concept oriented teaching to generate the different type of advanced techniques while using in a casting process, and others to research and develop the commercializing the enabling technologies which can be benefit for the wide range of industries, especially if you have there is a lot of problems in the industry. So to rectify, to solve that problems with that research and development in any academic institution, obviously there will linking, that is memorandum of understanding with the industry academia, so that whatever the industry requirement, our students also can able to develop knowledge as per the requirement of the industry, so that they may get easily for placement in a the reputed organizations like L&T and some of the what you call Ashok Leyland, where the casting foundry, Ennur foundries, etc. Even India also a lot of good foundries and L-cast in Andhra, and what you call Ennur foundation, Tamil Nadu. It is a producing Ashok Leyland engine components and all. Okay, so for any industrial materials which will focus on a strong durable materials can be used. The main purpose is it can withstand high temperatures with industrial environment. That is why nowadays you can able to do the variety of technological works with that industry that leads to be a you can able to do some economical benefit for the in India and industry. Okay, and another important point to discuss here, the main efforts in a combustion target. So that is in general in any metal casting process, all these complex shapes, engine components and all, where you can perform in a IC engines concept. That is the term IC engine can be defined as it is the engine, the combustion takes place inside the engine cylinder, we will call it as an IC engines. So their target is, it is a very clean and cost effective technologies where will increase the productivity. So this is what one interesting. So whenever any industry, their intention is to have a lot of components, productivity means the rate of output by input, whatever the material and emissions and forehems method and money, how we can able to effectively utilize that the resources forehems and to lead the customer requirement and industry requirement. Obviously it may improve the energy efficiency and also some reduces the emissions, NOx, NOx and CO2, etc. to enhance the fuel flexibility. So to enhance the fuel flexibility is the one major factor for this type of industry with adding some sensors. And still a lot of research is going on the sensors and controls addresses such challenges which will improving the sensors to reach accuracy in harsh environments. So in providing integrated measurement systems such as advanced casting systems also will be used. So in this case where the sensors to be used for that mold making and how we can able to prepare the hand molding process, machine molding process with the exact how much amount of pressure to be required. For that, you can able to use the sensor, exact amount of pressure should be generated with that either pneumatic and hydraulic type of machinery to use the compression of the sand, etc. So this is what about and present industry, a lot of requirement for the mechanical engineers, where you can able to have the basic concept and how it will affect the complex shapes in aeronautical industry and automobile industry. Okay, so this is what about the metal casting industry with the sensors. Now another interesting thing I would like to add here, you can see the involving universities and students. So that is what even at the third year and fourth year level, the student can able to send to the abroad for doing their internship or they are exchanging the project work. Okay, so that is what, that also some industry institution interaction will be there. The selected some of the interested students who got some good percentage in academics, they are eligible to do their project work or they do some research work in abroad. So like great universities like Stanford University, MIT Massachusetts Institute of Technology, to have the goods concept. The college also they are ready to send the people to exchanging the student program in the major industries, universities in abroad. Okay, so where you can do such a type of student transfer from the India to abroad, there is a lot of technology transfer will takes place, especially the lot of advanced machineries are available in abroad. For that, if you do some industries most pressing needs, that is what there is a well-trained workforce will be there. There you need to have some 6 months training or 1 year training for student exchange abroad program, will be SAP, semester abroad program in majority of the universities and some of our leading colleges also will be there. There you can select such type of colleges in the third year level, the student able to do or perform the better concept of that industries in abroad. So that is through proper channel, etc. So whenever the student undertake careers in metal castings, once you have that abroad experience by making some internships and some of the good work done in some major industries, so automatically they should understand the latest technology knowledge and also what are the advanced process. So where we can work on the shop floor. Nowadays, all the people are sitting in a AC room with doing a MS Office job for the software engineer. But really, in mechanical engineering, if we have the concept, if you work in a core industry at least a couple of years, obviously, a lot of changes and benefit for the student may happen. Okay, so even you may have a lot of stages also you can able to survive in that industry. So starting with the supervisor, engineer, manager, and general manager and quality control, like that a lot of stages will be there. But in software industry, only software engineer, senior software engineer, like the only two designation will be there. But in industry like casting industry or forging industry or welding, any type of industry where you need to initial only have to take some struggle, maximum 6 months or 1 year only. So after that, once you got a good experience with related to advanced technology like ANSYS, ProE and some of the automation where you can able to use some sensors in that metal casting process, obviously you can able to improve far better advancing in that abroad industries. Okay, so that is why in a metal casting industry of the future, aluminium are now working in many sectors of the metal casting industry. So including automotive, industrial machinery and consumer goods and other sectors also they can prefer this mechanical engineering where you can have the initially little bit very less packages are there. Once you have a hands-on experience in minimum 2 years, couple of years or 5 years, definitely you may reach the manager level, general manager level, and vice president level also can able to lead. So because you have a basic concept in the tips, with that you can add some advanced technology topics also. Obviously, you can able to do better for that industry. Okay, and here in this, as per this Techno Navio company, they have given some analysis of how can able to do. So look at this is a one important thing is how much ton of the tonnage of the casting can be produced. So this is a 50% of the growth, which in year to year, and 2.14% for every year. There is a combination of this automotive and aeronautical applications will be occur. And one of the key drivers of the marketing is increasing the adoption in advanced casting techniques with the semi-automated and fully automated technique can be utilized. So I hope this is what the present scope in metal casting in any industry, not only India and abroad. If you can work for a couple of years in India, then immediately the lot of opportunity with a good packages is available abroad, especially US and some Germany and some New Zealand also. A lot of opportunities there. So where you have a passion to work in mechanical engineering stream, the main thing you can learn with the basic fundamentals of the pattern design, and how you can able to do the molten metal mold making process, and how you can able to prepare the mold molten metal with the different type of furnaces, especially electrical furnace, induction furnace, or cupola furnace. How much amount tonnage of the molten metal should be prepared? Just 2 hours prior to start the pouring the molten metals. All these things would be, if you work on hands-on industry, in industry, then only you can able to develop a lot of advantages and the benefits to have the good future in this mechanical engineering field. I hope the student can able to understand about this total contents of scope of metal casting in industry. So these were the first you can know the 90% of goods and equipments from critical components like aircraft, automobile, and some home appliances and surgical components, and also where you can able to do some different type of process like melting, heat treatment, post cast, and core making, and mold making, and other type also, which will combine some percentage like 7%, 8%, 12%, and 6% of the heat treatment, and other is 12%. Totally can be added into 100% in an industry. And also there is a materials also, how much percentage of material of the components can be widely used in industry. So even aluminum also popularly used in the die casting process, so that lightweight any aeronautical applications can be widely used. And the sensors, nowadays even you can see the space researches, especially shots in Sriharikota also, a lot of sensors also will be added in the basic manufacturing process like metal casting process, and advanced sensors also like MEMS, micro electromechanical systems. So this is the one of the good and advanced sensor where can perform the multi type of properties to do a single tiny size of sensor. Okay, so with this I hope all the student can understand. And also there is what SAP, semester abroad program, at the third year level or fourth year level. If you are strong in academics, you can ready to apply for internship and project work in abroad universities like Stanford, Massachusetts University, and some of the leading Alabama University, etc., in order to have the bright future. Okay, so this is what about the scope of casting industry in India and abroad. So thank you for your support. In the next class, we'll discuss another topic. Okay, good luck.
Like, share, and subscribe. Hit the bell icon for more updates.